All right, so we are in the 6th chapter now of this year, and we're going to talk about anti-differentiation or anti-differentiation. This is kind of a challenge because with differentiation, you simply had to follow a bunch of rules to get from the question to the answer. But now with anti or anti-differentiation, you have to figure out what rules were followed to get that derivative, and then you have to get back to the original question or the original function. So basically what we're saying is if we have a function f of x, that's what you're going to be given, but you need to find the function capital F of x so that when you take the derivative of capital F of x, you get the function little f of x that you were given in the first place. So instead of being given a function and asked to find the derivative, you're being given the derivative and asked to find the function that actually has that derivative. All right, so f of x is the derivative of capital F of x, and so capital F of x is called the antiderivative of f of x because you're working backwards. All right, so just that's some definitions for you there, and now let's do some examples. We know that if we were to take the derivative of 3x squared plus 7x, we would follow our simple rules, and we would get 6x plus 7. Okay, what that means is the antiderivative or antiderivative of 6x plus 7 would be 3x squared plus 7x. So again, we're going backwards to get to the original function. Now let's take something similar but a little different. This is 3x squared plus 7x plus 5. Now if I take the derivative of that, I get 6x plus 7 again because the derivative of 5 is 0. So this looks a lot like what I got in the first question. And in fact, if I take the derivative of any function that is 3x squared plus 7x plus some constant, I'm going to get 6x plus 7 because the derivative of that constant would be 0. So what is the antiderivative of 6x plus 7? I've got to take into account all of those functions that start off with 3x squared plus 7x plus some constant. So what I do is I write the family of functions as 3x squared plus 7x plus capital C, some constant that either I don't know right now or I could figure out later, but I do have to include it as part of my answer because there could be a constant there. All right, so that plus C is something that you're going to see a lot of when you're taking antiderivatives. All right, so this is your turn. If I wanted to know the antiderivative of 4x cubed plus 8x, take a minute, pause the video, and see what that would be. And your answer should be x to the 4th plus 4x squared plus c. Don't forget the plus c. Okay, another one, pause the video and figure out the antiderivative of 6x to the 5th plus 11. And your answer should be x to the 6th plus 11x plus c. And one last one, the antiderivative of 7e to the x plus cosine x is, and your answer should be 7e to the x plus sine x plus c. So you're always going to have that plus c at the end of your antiderivative just to account for any constant that may or may not be there. All right, we're going to do more of this in class, so feel free to ask me questions before then if you need to, and I will see you tomorrow.